We are at Aldi right now, and my husband's about to take us over budget for the month. I'll see what kind of bread he's going to buy. He complained about the bread the last time. Did you get kind of bread you like?
Yes, Italian.
Italian, that's good. Bananas are 53 cents a pound. You can get a big watermelon for $4.65. They're pretty big. They're heavy. I'm not going to pick it up, but it looks pretty heavy. Cabbages are 85 cents a pound. So that's an economical vegetable to buy. Eggs came down in price at Aldi. They're only $3.47. I'm glad to see eggs coming down in price. Avocado oil they have at Aldi, $5.99 for a 17-ounce bottle. I'm thinking about buying this next week when we stock up for the month of June, I guess. Yeah, well, we are done grocery shopping for the month of May. My husband blew it all at Aldi's. But I can't think of a better place because we saved quite a bit of money on the groceries that we did buy. But did we need all that we bought? And I'll show you what we bought and what we've already eaten because this video came out a little late. It's been a few days since we've been to Aldi. That took us $24 over budget. It was not in my plan at all. This just shows you just because one person in the household is frugal doesn't mean everyone is on that same page. And he splurged. This is okay. We can compensate for this because we have a luxury budget that we hardly touched at all this month. We didn't go out to eat, not even once, not even a Wendy's sandwich. So I'm thinking, well, it was okay. To go $24 over budget's fine. I'd rather spend that at a store like Aldi and get good deals on groceries than go to a fast food restaurant and just waste it there. I'll show you what we bought and what I plan on cooking for the rest of the month. Just what my meal plan is. So now I'm in the kitchen, as you can see, and I have this receipt. I'm going to pull out what we bought the other day, which was 5 days ago. So we've used some of the items, or they're very low. So we'll see what we bought and what we really needed and what we could have avoided so that we could have stayed on budget. Here are the items we spent $44 on at Aldi. At another store like Giant Eagle, we probably would have spent maybe $60 for this or maybe more. You see, my husband, he chose these eggs right here, which were more expensive. And I was very surprised that he did this, considering the price of eggs went down to, I believe it was $3.47. He bought the free range, and this was over $5. But he wanted these, and let's see here. There they are, the brown eggs and the free range. This is the kind he likes to buy, but I thought, well, we're, on a budget, and we don't have much left on our budget for our groceries. So I was surprised that he bought these, so we could have saved some money if we had bought the regular eggs, which were marked down and compared to what they have been. Okay, let's look over here. The milk we needed, we absolutely needed, just like we needed the eggs. Look, there's hardly anything left. And so this way I know that we go through more than a half a gallon of milk a week. But this we needed. These two things I just showed you were necessities. This is what we really needed. Everything else we did not need. Okay. Even the bananas, we didn't need the bananas. We could have waited a week and a half until we do our big grocery shopping for the month. But the bananas were a good deal. So I'll let this slide. They're healthy. They have potassium. Okay, we could have stayed on budget with that. The yogurt, I would think my husband would just buy one yogurt, considering we just had a week and a half to go before we do our big shopping. But he bought two because he loves his yogurt. Swiss cheese. We had cheese, but he wanted Swiss cheese. So that was not a real cheap purchase, but I'll let it slide because cheese is fairly healthy. Now, the peanut butter. We had enough peanut butter to probably definitely last a week and a half. I'm not letting this slide. We could have held off on the peanut butter. Oh my goodness. This we did not need, but we wanted. I admit I wanted something salty. But I was okay with just the cashews. And this is a healthier choice, even though they are more expensive. I would say the chips. We should not have bought the chips. Okay. And same with these, which was the biggest temptation for me. And look, they're almost gone. And I've eaten most of them. I gave into temptation to Cheetos. I call them Cheetos. They're cheese puffs. We did not need. Put that aside. The candy. I had enough ingredients here in the pantry to make homemade candy or homemade dessert, chocolate dessert. So this we absolutely did not need. It was very expensive, and he has eaten as many or more than I have. And I didn't know he bought these actually until we got to the cash register. It was too late. He had already paid for them. Okay, put that aside. So let's see, the bread we needed. The cereal we did not need. I believe we still have some cereal up there. We could have held off on this. We have cornflakes and we have oatmeal. So that leaves these items, and this has to go because we did not need bologna. We have plenty of meat in that refrigerator. We did not need bologna. This was a very bad choice, very unhealthy choice. Okay, that leaves us with these items. And I'll let you know what these cost, and we'll see if we would have stayed on budget if we just bought these items. As it turns out, we still would have been $7 over budget. So what I would have done differently, I would have taken back one of the yogurts. So we'll take one of these back. I'm averaging out everything to the nearest dollar, so that takes away $3. We could have held off on the Swiss cheese. Yeah, which was not real cheap, $4. That right there, yep, now we're on budget. These items came to roughly $20. This would have been fine. Now we could have gone under budget if we bought the cheaper eggs. We would have paid a couple dollars less to buy the regular eggs instead of the free range. And if we had skipped the nuts, because we had nuts, we had almonds up there, so we didn't really need the nuts, but we wanted the nuts. And they're not so bad. They're pretty healthy. Okay, then, well, we would have stayed on budget if we had not bought the other items. And most of those items were, looking at these items, there's some healthier items. There's some junk food. There was quite a bit of junk food there. So being frugal, it's about making smart choices. And we made some very unwise choices. And this is just an example. And this is on a small scale economically compared to some other items that we could have gone out to eat. We would have spent a lot more money. Just on one meal, it would have definitely gone over $20. I don't care for fast food restaurants. So if we'd gone to a restaurant, it probably would have been Bob Evans or something, a sit-down restaurant. We would have spent what we spent on at least $44 or more after the tip. It was smarter to buy the groceries because these will go a lot further than just each of us having one meal at Bob Evans, maybe taking a little bit of leftovers home. But here we have food that's going to last for several days. So this was the smartest choice, even though we went over budget. Now, I have to admit, since we did that grocery shopping, I have only cooked from scratch 2 times. What did I make? A pizza, we still have plenty of pizza left. And I was going to freeze some of it. And my husband said, don't you dare. He just loves pizza. And we have some soup that I made. That's it. I have not been cooking from scratch. That's another reason why I got into those Cheetos and ate too many. And I also ate too many cashews. So cooking from scratch is very important. It helps you to resist the junk food. And that's what I need. I need to look in my cupboards because today is a holiday. I need to see what I can cook, what meal plan we can come up with, get an idea for this week, what we can use that will be smart and healthier choices. So I'm looking in here and I do have there's that soup I made. It was like a chicken rice soup. And there's just something from the freezer I pulled out a couple days ago with some turkey hash brown skillet. And this is the pizza I had 2 containers of pizza. Now this one's real low. Okay, so I can put that into there. I think I'll do that while I'm thinking about it. We still have all this pizza. For 2 people, it was a big pizza. I don't eat much pizza. And there was a lot of cheese on that pizza. Woo! Which is a good calcium source. So we'll just put this in here. This is some cabbage. I need to eat that up. Let's see. It's cooked cabbage. Look at this. There's a whole package. I thawed this out 3 days ago. It's completely thawed. So this is what I need to work with. Fresh ground turkey. And it's 3 pounds. With this fresh ground turkey, I'd like to make something besides what I usually make, which is a meatloaf. I'd like to make 2 different kinds of meatballs. I do Swedish meatballs and Italian meatballs. And that will go a long way. The meatballs will. And then we have some cabbage left. The part that you use for cabbage rolls. So that's what I'm going to look up a recipe for cabbage rolls. That will be our main entrees for the next 2 or 3 days. I'll make plenty of meatballs. We may even freeze some of the meatballs. Now let's see what we can make for a side dish and dessert. The lighting's bad in here, but this is my little pantry. Look, we have 2 little potatoes left, but I know we have some carrots, so I can roast some potatoes and carrots. We have 3 apples left, and we have an onion. Oh, good. Okay, great. So I know what the side dish is going to be. Roasted carrots and potatoes. For dessert, we have strawberries from the garden. We still have plenty of strawberries out there I need to pick today, in fact. Let's see, I have some in the freezer also. Okay, strawberries galore. We're getting a very good harvest. That would be for dessert, some kind of strawberry dessert, maybe strawberry pie, but I would need to make some kind of whipped cream for that, and I'll have to see what I have for whipped cream because I don't have heavy cream. But while I'm looking in the freezer, I see there's hash browns I could use for a casserole also coming up. We're going to have that this week. And we also have some flounder. We need to eat some fish. We haven't had fish for a while. And we have these hamburgers in case it is a holiday. My husband might want to put these on the grill. So, but I'm going to go ahead and cook, and then we'll still have plenty of food for the next few days that way. There's some cauliflower back here. Oh, this you can rice up. It's a wonderful side dish and very filling. So that could go with the fish. See, we have a lot of frozen food that I cooked food from scratch and then I froze it. So we can thaw some of this out for this week. Spanish rice or stuffed peppers, or just to eat as a side dish. Okay, we have something in here. Okay, muffins. Oh, these are good. These are banana chocolate chip muffins. Good, that would be part of our breakfast this morning. So we have some frozen chili from May 1st. I'll put that down to thaw out. We'll have that this week. That was leftover chili, and there's some lamb pieces in here that we need to. My husband wants cheese kebabs or something, so he might put, these are already done, already cooked, but I'll make some kind of marinade with that. Further into the refrigerator, I see we have veggies, so I can make a veggie plate with carrots and celery and tomato. I can make a salad. We have lettuce out in the garden, but I want to use up this lettuce from the store. And a cucumber, so that's part of the veggie plate I can make. There's the cabbage for the cabbage rolls. And we have plenty of canned goods. As you can see, we have canned meat back there also. We have roast beef and we have tuna and chicken. We have enough beans to last for quite a while. I'm going to have to do a restock on those coming up though. Here's some fruit, some more fruit, peaches and sweet corn. That's not a fruit, just peaches and pineapple. Look, we got 2 cans of peaches. I think that we are blessed. I think we have quite a bit. We do have some grocery shopping to do coming up, but we don't have to rush to the store. There's more than enough food to feed us for quite a while here. Well, I got an idea for a meal plan for this week, starting today, and I won't be able to put that into this video. It would be too long if I did. The next video you see should be either a food video or a garden video. I wanted to walk the little dog Boo Boo also, because being frugal is more than just about saving money on groceries or saving money on clothing or cutting back on your utilities. It's also about activities that you choose that do not cost money. Walking a dog is free and it's good exercise. Let me know what you think, and do you give into temptation when you go to the grocery store? I'm sure most of us do. Let me know how you resist that temptation. And what do you do when you're a frugal person and you're very saving, but your husband, or in some cases it might be your wife or another family member or your kids, they want you to spend more money on food. And how do you convince them to stay on budget? And of course, he's the main breadwinner, my husband is, so there's not much I can say. And I don't want to argue with him, so we did not argue about it or anything. It was just $24 that we went over budget. And I'm not completely blaming him. I think we would have probably gone over budget by a couple dollars anyway. I was craving snack food myself. But like I said, cooking from scratch helps you resist the temptation to buy snack foods and junk food. And definitely homemade is a better choice and will save you money. So thanks for watching today, and please give me your feedback. God bless each and every one of you. Happy holiday. I'll see you on the next one.